What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today, over the past few weeks, there's obviously been a lot of uncertainty in the hobby. People are getting a little bit uncomfortable. The graph isn't always going up to the right, and people are starting to sell off some products. So in this video, I want to give you 6 or 7 recommendations about what I think are the best sets and sealed products to be invested in as we go through this correction, if it goes into a bear market, whatever. Basically, the products that I have the most confidence in. And this goes without saying too, if you are over leveraged, which I think a lot of people were, and you can kind of see some of them selling off over the past couple weeks, be smart about things, right? Like get a balanced portfolio so you don't have to be worried. But even in a balanced portfolio, I do think there will be items you have more confidence in than others. And these are just the ones that I think are going to do the best over the next couple years and perform well in the face of uncertainty. So starting off, we have Paldea Vol booster boxes. This goes without saying. You guys know I've been a huge fan of Paldea for a very long period of time. I was buying this when it was like $90 USD per box. I've sold off a little bit. I have a zero cost basis now on Paldea. Everything I own at this point, I'm holding long term. I have zero plans to sell Paldea anytime soon. Now, why are Paldea Vol booster boxes a good investment? Well, first off, this box is rotating out early next year, so we're almost at the point where we won't be getting more of it. We actually might already be there, but I guess it's still possible theoretically that we do get more Paldea Vol printed, especially going into the holiday season. But also, when you look at the card list for Paldea, you have a very strong chase card in the Magikarp. It has a super low PSA 10 gem rate, which means that people will want to try and chase this card in the future and do the grading play on it, try and get 10s. On top of that, you have solid depth, you have Tyranitar, you have Raichu, you have the Iono Special Illustration Rare. Obviously, the Mousehold has been on a crazy run this year. I don't think anyone expected that, but outside of those top 5 to 6 cards, you still have Fuecoco, Sprigatito, the Miss Magus is awesome, Skeledirge, Marill as well, Tinkatong. There's a lot of solid Special Illustration and Illustration Rares in the set that really make the opening experience enjoyable, and is going to be something that continues bringing people back to Paldea Evolved in the future. And that's something important, at least I look for when I look at Pokemon investments. I want something that people will want to open in the future, because if there's a constant churn of supply for a product, that's something that I think has been undervalued in the Pokemon investing community, at least over the past couple of years. People always look at what's the most expensive, what has the top chase cards, but if it's a set that nobody is opening at all, and the stats, the evidence reflects that, right? When we look at like PSA 10 rates and just do the math, it might not necessarily be the best place to put your money. But Paldea, it's constantly being opened, and I think that will continue into the future. Now, moving on, we have Lost Origin. This shouldn't be a surprise. I think a lot of the top alternate art sets from the Sword and Shield era you could throw in here, and there will be one more on the list, spoiler, and I'll show you guys a couple recommendations at the end of the video. But Lost Origin, I mean, when you come and look, recent sales are in like the 730 range. So this box has definitely taken a bit of a beating during this correction. It's down like what, 10%, maybe a little bit more than that at this point. But Lost Origin, super deep set, nothing to worry about here. You have the Giratina V up top, Shinji Kanda artwork. Everybody wants to chase that card. The Aerodactyl V is a decent supporting card. You have some Pikachus in here as well. Now, the big surprise for Lost Origin over the past, I'd say 8 to 10 months has been the rise of a lot of these yellow border trainer gallery cards. The Gengar's up to around 35 bucks, the Pikachu's 26, this Charizard's around 18-ish dollars. And for the longest time, people thought of Lost Origin as a very top-heavy set. You had the Giratina, the Aerodactyl, and maybe the Pikachus you'd include in there. But now I think there's a little bit more depth to this set, which is a good thing in my opinion, because it just means there's more hits for people when they're opening packs to try and chase. So that's always a good thing. But even without that added depth this year, I think that Lost Origin, just having a Shinji Kanda artwork, having the Giratina chase, which is one of the most iconic cards from the Sword and Shield era, that's enough on its own to recommend this investment. Now, before we get into the next recommendation, I do want to give a shout out to today's video sponsor, the Shiny app. Shiny is a mobile app that helps you track your collection or investments, whether that's in Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Disney Lorcana, Sorcery, Gundam, One Piece, and now Riftbound. In Pokemon specifically, They cover English, Japanese, and simplified Chinese products. In my opinion, they have the best user experience out there. They're trying to update their data more frequently than everyone else. And also, if you have a recommendation for them, you can join their Discord and leave that in the comments section there. So they're constantly doing their best to improve the user experience. And the best part about Shiny is that it's absolutely free. So I'll leave links to the Google Play and App Store in the description and pin comment down below. And thank you to Shiny for sponsoring the video. Now, moving on to the next investment, it should be no surprise, Prismatic Evolutions. This is, in my opinion, the best set from the Scarlet and Violet era. I know some people disagree with that, but when we look at the chase cards in Prismatic Evolutions, nothing really compares to it from the era. Having the Umbreon up top around $1,200 currently is huge. And then all the other evolutions in there, the Sylveon at $360, the Leafeon's back to almost $300, Espeon, Vaporeon, Glaceon. We've gone over this a million times. You also have the Roaring Moon EX, which is the Shinji Kanda artwork. I think a lot of people enjoy that card. And then you have some other decent supporter Pokemon in here. I mean, you have the Ceruledge EX, you have Dragapult EX, the Raging Bolt is a pretty solid artwork as well. And then you have some like maybe B to C tier Pokemon. You have the Ursaluna, Goldango, Palafin, which I think some of these artworks are still very solid. The other thing about Prismatic Evolutions is the fact that there was a God Pack, and there's a ton of value you can pull getting all of the evolutions. So I think that definitely adds a lot of value to the sealed product. Now, over the next 18 months or so, will there be more Prismatic printed? Very possible. If that happens, I would recommend dollar cost averaging, adding more to your position, but this is definitely not something that I would be dumping at this point, whether it's the ETBs, the PCTBs, the super premium collections as well, I think are an awesome product. And if you are able to get the sealed bundle displays, a lot of people were telling me that those were a European distribution exclusive, so we didn't actually get those over here in North America, at least the 10 bundles. We got like the 25 boxes, I think, or whatever. But if you want to get the bundles of 10, a couple of those sealed, I think that's a great product as well. Very bullish on Prismatic Evolutions, not something I would be dumping anytime soon. Now, a couple more here. Evolving Skies. This shouldn't be surprising. I'm sure a lot of you guys expected this to be on the list. Evolving Skies is basically the set in Pokemon. It's the best set of the modern era, in my opinion. Some people might contest that, but it is just insanely deep with so many popular Pokemon. You have the evolutions. You have the Umbreon, you have the Sylveon, Leafeon, Glaceon, but Espeon as well also has a V card in here. But you also have some other popular Pokemon, Rayquaza VMAX being a $700 card. I mean, ignoring the Moonbreon, this would be a top hit in basically any other set. Same thing with a lot of these other cards, like the Umbreon V, the Dragonite V. A lot of those would be a top hit. And you go further down, you also have the Rayquaza V. Even some of these V cards for the evolutions, I know they're not the VMAXs, but they're still worth like $150 to $180, which just adds so much depth to a set that was already incredibly deep to begin with. And I know some people say that, hey, Evolving Skies, Evolving Cries, it was a terrible opening experience. I don't understand why anybody would want to open it. It's awful. I'm never going to do it. The reality is, when you look at the numbers, you look at the pop report, people are continuing to open Evolving Skies. Look at any stream, right? Wenzel TCG, any other smaller, larger channel. When they put up Evolving Skies, it sells out, people open it. And the reason for that is because the chase is there. You can pull a $2,300 card raw. You can pull a $700 card, a $600 card, a $500 card. The list goes on. It is just so deep. I would not be selling any of my Evolving Skies, whether you own booster boxes, ETBs, PCTBs, sleeved boosters, even loose packs. I would try my best to hold on to it. Now, if you do want to sell a little bit, say you have a very large position, you want to get rid of like a case or something and get to a zero cost basis. Again, nobody goes broke taking profits, but just understand that even at current prices, I think it's going to be fairly difficult for a lot of sets to outperform Evolving Skies over the next couple of years. Again, that's just my opinion. You might disagree with that. Absolutely fine. But Evolving Skies, I think we can all agree, is still a very strong investment. Now, a couple more here. We have 151. I brought up the sealed booster bundle display. These are going for about $1,500 currently. I have a few of these. I think they're great. They're space efficient. It's a very expensive item as well, which is good, at least in my opinion. I don't like having to sell a million cheap items when I could just put a lot of money into one of them. The booster bundles in general, if you have the loose ones, I think those are still great. ETBs I'm fine with as well. I think like pretty much any sealed 151 product is something that I would be trying to hold right now. I know some people are maybe looking at PCTBs, the regular ETBs, and wanting to take profits, and that's fine. But similar to Paldea Evolved, we're at the end of the 151 life cycle, and I think when we revisit a video like this 2 to 3 years from now, all 151 products are going to be more expensive than they currently are. So that's all I want to say about 151. The set's really deep as well. I mean, it's not the deepest set. The pull rates were a bit easier on 151 compared to some of the later SV era sets, but you still have a very expensive top chase in the Charizard. The Venusaur, Blastoise, Zapdos are all in the 80 to 90-ish range. And then you have a bunch of fan favorite Pokemon, the Charmander, Alakazam, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Pikachu, the list goes on. So ignore what happens in the short term with 151. I'd feel very confident holding this. Now, the final recommendation, Crown Zenith. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Crown Zenith, and we're basically at an all-time high again on the ETB, sitting around $227. We maybe got to $228 middle of September, but basically $230 at this point. When you look at the set list, again, no massive chase card like we had in a lot of these Sword and Shield sets, but the Giratina V-Star, still $220. The Mewtwo V-Star, $190-ish now. Arceus is still over $100, and then Dialga, Palkia in the $80 to $90 range. But it's a lot of that middle tier depth again. The Leafeon, Darkrai, Deoxys, Glaceon, Suicune, Entei, some of these Galarian yellow border cards as well, like the Mew, the Pikachu Secret. Having this many awesome artworks in a set combined with really decent pull rates makes this a set that people do want to open. It's something that I've never had issues trying to move locally. If I throw it up, it sells basically instantly, even in my small town and community. And if I post it in a national group, obviously it's going to go very quick. And similar to a lot of the other items we've talked about on the list today, Crown Zenith is being opened at record paces still. If you go watch any rip and ship, tons of it being moved on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And that's why I am so bullish on Crown Zenith, even though some people might be not as high on it as I am, but that's fine. Now, when it comes to sealed items, obviously, I think the ETBs are great. You could go for the PCTBs. Booster bundles, I think, are fine. As you guys know, I did just get rid of my tins. I think holding tins long term, you're probably not going to do as well as some of those other products. Same thing with the very large premium collections like the Zacian and Zamazenta ones. I would rather hold booster bundles or ETBs. That's just my opinion. But if you guys own Crown Zenith, it's not something I would be in a rush to get rid of. And a few honorable mentions to close out the video. We do have Destined Rivals. I think long-term Destined Rivals is great. It's a no-brainer, but it is still a very new set, so I don't really know what's going to happen to this over the next couple of years. If you are holding for a 5 to 10 year period, that's your goal. You're not worried about getting that money out. Sure, Destined Rivals, go for it, dollar cost average. But if you don't have a ton of money, you're trying to hold for a shorter period of time, maybe you want to wait and see what happens to Destined Rivals over the next couple of years. Same thing with Surging Sparks. I mean, right now, the vending machines are getting restocked. You can find this at a decent price. I still think it's a great set. It's obviously not the best from the Scarlet and Violet era, but I'm pretty confident it's going to do well. Obviously, again, not on the levels of something like a Destined Rivals or Prismatic Evolutions, but it will be up there in the conversation. And then from the Sword and Shield era, Fusion Strike, you could throw this in here if you have some booster boxes, maybe you have some, I don't know, build and battle kits, PCTPs, whatever. I wouldn't be in a huge rush to get rid of those. Brilliant Stars and Chilling Reign, same deal. These booster boxes, I think, are eventually going to be $1,000 plus. But that is going to be it for the video. You guys can let me know in the comments down below, what are your top investments, the things you feel most confident in right now. It could be a sealed product, it could be a slab or a raw card. Also, go check out Shiny, links in the description down below. With all that said, thank you so much for watching the video. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.